From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Hourly News Blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting an appellate court ruled on Thursday that California cannot enforce its law banning schools from forcibly outing students to their families while a lawsuit against the legislation continues. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals had already ruled in favor of a temporary block on the bill, a decision that the United States Supreme Court later upheld. SCOTUS then sent the case back to the Ninth Circuit. The Circuit Court's decision mirrored much of the language from the SCOTUS decision and posited that parents have an affirmative constitutional right to know everything about their children's gender expression at school, the LA Times reported. The legislation in question, Assembly Bill 1955, also known as the Safety Act, strengthened existing California law prohibiting school districts from enacting any policy requiring staff to disclose information about a student's sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression to anyone without the student's consent. In 2023, at least 10 California school districts adopted policies requiring school staff to out students to their potentially unsupportive parents without the student's permission. According to the ACLU of Northern California, all these policies seemingly violate longstanding California law and Department of Education guidance. AB 1955 was signed by Governor Gavin Newsom in July 2024 amid right-wing opposition. During the Assembly debate at the time, critics of the bill called it a blanket ban that infringes on parental rights. Several teachers sued, and in 2025, the U.S. Department of Education opened an investigation into California's Department of Education over the law. The DOE claimed the law violates the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. The agency launched today's investigation to vigorously protect parents' rights and ensure that students do not fall victim to a radical transgender ideology that often leads to family alienation and irreversible medical interventions. How about suicide, you bitch? Linda McMahon, you Secretary of Education bitch, said in her statement at the time. I can't stand Linda McMahon, in case you didn't notice. She's a worthless bitch. I digress. Mary Ziegler, a parental rights laws expert and a professor at the UC Davis School of Law, told the LA Times that the temporary block is arguably significantly more extensive than the Supreme Court has spelled out. I hope you bastards out in California can deal with all the suicides that are going to end up happening, and that's going to leave a shit ton of blood on Linda McMahon's hands. Hope she dies happy. Trans issues are hot button issues, but this kind of parental rights litigation has much broader ambition, Ziegler said, some of which have nothing to do with LGBTQ people. There's an ambition to transform parental rights, period, and the easiest way to do that is to focus on trans issues. Ziegler said the final decision on the law's fate could have massive implications for parental rights in general. Reasonable people can disagree. No, you're not reasonable. You're simply not. Reasonable people can disagree about what involvement parents should or shouldn't have in this context. They shouldn't have involvement if they're unsupportive. But that's not what this is about. It's about the complete overhaul of the power parents have, and children are vanishing from the story. Damn right they are. According to the Trevor Project, 28% of LGBTQ plus youth report experience homelessness. Gee, I bet a lot of that's out in California and Texas. Let's not leave them out. With 40% reporting that they were kicked out or abandoned by a parent or guardian due to their LGBTQ plus identity. The National Network for Youth reports similar findings, with 40% of LGBTQ plus youth experiencing homelessness and familial conflict being the primary cause. It's because parents listen to their idiot preachers on Sundays. The study from the University of Connecticut found that a third of youth who were forcibly outed had a greater likelihood of experiencing major depression, as well as low family support. Additionally, more than 65% of youth said being forcibly outed was highly stressful. Well, maybe if California's law had withstood the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals and the bozos in Washington, I guess they might have actually had a shot. That's News Blast for this hour. The PEP Radio YouTube channel has news updates throughout the day, every day. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, Alexa, and wherever you find streaming radio. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.